What up, guys? Mad Scientist 7890 here. Gonna do an in the lab video for you here. 3 topics for you. My first topic here is coming up this weekend. Ring of Honor is going to be running their annual show, Glory by Honor. It's going to be the 10th one. And from just looking at the card on paper, this looks like it's going to be an outstanding show. It's interesting that the show is, just like a Manhattan Mayhem is one of their big shows, isn't going to be on iPay-per-view, but, it looks like on paper, it really looks like it's better than almost all the other shows they've had all this year. I mean, it looks, to me, appealing-wise, it looks better than Death for Dishonor did. It looks better than Best in the World. I mean, other than maybe the center stage, shows, our Ring of Honor takes center stage shows. I mean, other than that, this show looks extremely appealing to me. So I'm gonna run down the card here for you, for some of you who don't know. But as of right now, they still have some talent signed, not put in matches yet. But here's who they have signed for the show to be on, not in matches yet. Michael Elgin's not in a match yet. Adam Cole and Mike Bennett, as of right now, are not in a match, but they're signed for the show. Possibly Elgin and Cole, which would be, I think would be pretty good. But here's what they got right now. Opening the probably one of the opener matches will be Jimmy Jacobs with Steve Corino versus Tommaso Ciampa with the Embassy. This could be okay. I'm not expecting a lot out of this, but this is probably probably gonna be one of the worst undercard matches. But either way, it's gonna be there for what it is, to a storyline advancement probably. Next, got Eddie Edwards versus Kyle O'Reilly. This could be really good here. On paper, this looks very good, so I would expect good things out of that. Next, we got the Briscoes versus the Young Bucks. Anytime these guys are in the ring against each other, they always have a good to solid match. This could be real good here as well. Jay Lethal versus Roderick Strong. I've actually been wanting to see this match since Lethal signed back with Ring of Honor. I've been waiting to see this, wanting to see these guys go at it. So this could be really good here too. It's not for the TV title. It's just like a proving ground match. Next, you got the World's Greatest Tag Team versus ANX for the titles. This could be really good here. ANX going over on the Wolves at the show I was at, getting them a really good push. You could see, World's Greatest Tag Team continue to run with these. I actually wouldn't be surprised if ANX won here, but I don't know if it'll happen. I think they're pushing towards that World's Greatest Tag Team versus Briscoes match at Final Battle, so it'll probably, World's Greatest Tag Team will probably retain here. And the main event will be Davey Richards versus El Generico. This ought to be really good stuff here. Huge El Generico fan. So like I said, this, appealing-wise, on paper, looks to me like one of their best shows of the year. Like I said, I think it's more appealing than Death Before Dishonor was. I think it's more appealing than Best in the World. The center stage shows they are what they are. They're two of their best shows this whole year. So can't beat those, but you can maybe with Glory by Honor here. But this looks like this could be a really good show here. So I want to throw that out there. Next thing I want to talk about is wrestling and Twitter. As of recently, professional wrestling, a lot of companies, indie companies, mainstream, really in mainstream, with WWE and TNA now, working partnerships with Twitter and really pushing Twitter like really hardcore, like hardcore pushing, like putting up, little comments at the bottom and, to follow this, or this is trending, on Raw they'll say, if something WWE is trending, it'll they'll say it. Asses to boots, the whole thing that Rock did on Raw, just everything with that whole situation. And then TNA does it where they show tweets from their fans. So I mean, Twitter for wrestling right now is huge. How we are literally in an information age, where everything is now. You can find out about everything through Twitter with wrestlers, big stories, anything like that. Going back to Glory by Honor with the Twitter situation, Eddie Edwards just said, on his Twitter that, to help him get ready for Davey Richards' Final Battle, his trainer is going to be Dan Severn, the Beast Dan Severn, which is crazy. That kind of information on Twitter getting out there, and that's just how it is, how information gets out there now. Fans being in contact at all times, with their favorite wrestlers and superstars, being able to tweet them things, being able to talk to them through, the internet is interesting. Jericho just tweeted, the other day and said he would never come back to the WWE ever again. I mean, you can believe that, but who knows? But, Twitter is blowing up so big for wrestling. I have a Twitter account. Like I said, I've plugged it, once. Like I said, it's Heelmatic7890 if you guys want to follow me. Wrestling, I follow almost literally every wrestler or anything to do with wrestling on Twitter. I follow all of it. So I know, right away when stuff's going on or something's happening, just staying up to date. And, how, and here's the question I'm going to pose to, some of you out there. Is Twitter kind of, taking over, wrestling right now? Taking over, it's so used and so mentioned. Is it, Twitter overshadowing a lot of things that are going on in wrestling? Is the surprise element of things happening live, not there anymore because you can know about them instantly through Twitter or instantly through, even Facebook, but Twitter's the big thing, with wrestling. So that's the question I pose is it, how the internet can, hurt wrestling in the long run, but at the same time got the word out about, more companies. In the long run, it internet somewhat hurt, wrestling to a degree. Is Twitter hurting or helping wrestling? That's the question I pose to you guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about Twitter and wrestling. And my last thing here, you know what? Damn it, I'm on just a ranting mood. With TNA, with that whole situation. This ending part here is going to be a rant on just big guy wrestlers. Just in today's wrestling are just so bad, and just being a bigger guy myself, it's such a disgrace. Like I'm not a muscular guy. I'm just fat. Honestly, I'll just say it out flat. I'm just a big guy. Just the way it is. But all these bodybuilder type wrestlers and big guys who just can't work and they just look the part are just heavily pissing me off. There is just a list of just guys, and since I'm on this just hate train of just big guys, people just keep getting added to my list of just big guy hate. You think me being a bigger guy myself, I wouldn't, but there is a couple guys out there that that are bigger guys that I really think are doing stuff. But for big guys in wrestling right now, passing that, I guess a mark of like 280 or 275 being that, being big, or 260 or something like that, being that big, to me it just seems a lot of these guys suck. These guys are just sucky, and I have a list of them right here. Ezekiel Jackson, Mason Ryan, Rob Terry, Matt Morgan, Crimson even is making this list right now just after Turning Point. Swagger's getting on this list right now. It's a hate train right now. Barrett, I can't stand Barrett as of right now. Gunner, yeah, Scott Steiner, even though he's old, he's on this list. Even though they're just big guys that just are unneeded. Kevin Nash, why is he even back? Just big guys who just can't work. Just a lot of these guys can't work. Crimson and Swagger can work okay. They're Swagger could probably do pretty good with some good guys, better guys in the ring. So would Crimson, but right now these guys are just on my just hating big guy trend. And then Barrett, just he's so I still feel like he's green, and he just isn't to a peak of a level of a main eventer or a push he's getting right now, I just feel. But there is a couple guys that I do feel like are good big guy wrestlers and should model themselves after these guys. These are the kind of big guy wrestlers you want to see, in wrestling. Okay, yeah, it's a lot about the characters, a lot about that. But if you're a main event big guy, you have to be able to carry a main event match. You can't wrestle, an 8-minute match in your main event every night or every pay-per-view, and that'll be okay with me because I won't watch it because it's garbage. That's just not the way it is. But there is some guys on my list of people who I think big guy wrestlers, mainstream, indie, should really mold themselves after of being athletic and being good big guy wrestlers. Michael Elgin in Ring of Honor is a good big guy wrestler. He does what he's supposed to, and that's that. Brody Lee is a pretty good big guy. Willie Mack, for those of you who know him in PWG, just all the big guy. If he was in the ring with Ezekiel Jackson, Willie Mack was in the ring with Ezekiel Jackson, he would make him look like a bitch. That's how much better Willie Mack is than Ezekiel Jackson. It's so crazy. I even would put, as of right now, I would put Mark Henry on this list, and of just complete just beast, beast mode. Him and Show's in that middle range. He's not horrible, he's not great, but he does what he needs to do, and I'm okay with him. Sheamus is another guy that I'm actually caring about being a big guy. I'm liking the stuff that he's doing. He's getting a push right now with what he's doing, but I like Sheamus right now. So I mean, it's just a load of just crappy big guys that just suck. These guys just suck. I'm sorry if you're a fan of these guys, but these guys just suck. These guys are just not just talented as wrestlers. A lot of these guys are just not talented as wrestlers. I'll give a pass on Crimson and Swagger for talent-wise, but just looking credible and looking like a good big man. Other than that, everybody else just sucks. They're horrible, and I can't stand watching them wrestle, to be honest with you. So I mean, that's my little rant on big guy wrestlers. As of right now, in mostly mainstream. Like I said, model some of those guys I said after. Even though he's in Japan, one of my favorite big guy wrestlers, Giant Bernard. I would even mention him as being somebody, a model, a big guy wrestler after. He does what he's supposed to. He doesn't overdo. He doesn't try to do extra things, or he doesn't. He can wrestle too. He can get on the ground and he can wrestle. A lot of these big guys can't wrestle. And I would even mention Samoa Joe, but everyone already knows he's damn good, and it's just a shame with his whole situation with him. I'm not even going to get into it with him, but that was just a little rant on big men. Let me know what you guys think. Comments, let me know. And like I said, like always, Mad Scientist out. Peace.